Hello YouTube, my name is Christopher Ravel. I'm an Airman First Class, United States Air Force Honor Guard. Today I'm going to do a little video about basic military training and what do you want to expect. I'm not going to do a full thing about individual weeks right yet. I'll probably try and do something about that later on. This is just an overview of everything you just kind of want to expect, some heads up, a couple things you want to do. I know a lot of people have a lot of questions about what's going to go on. A little background about me. I've been in since August of 2012. I came to the Premier Unit, United States Air Force Honor Guard, so I have a lot of good drill that I've done, a lot of other high priority jobs. So if you guys have any questions about that or other BMT questions, you can feel free to message me or comment below the video, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. So I'm going to start off. I kind of took some notes. So if I look down, that's what I'm looking at also. So they're right here. So let's get started. The first thing you really need to know about basic military training is it's a mental game. It's as hard as you make it. That's what my instructor told me when I got there, and it's 100% true. Your basic is more than likely going to be easy, but the people around you and maybe yourself is going to make it difficult, both physically and mentally. It's set up for a way for you to learn discipline, how to take orders, and how to do things without any flaws in them. So that's where all the yelling and whatnot comes from, is from that training environment. So you basically have to tell yourself, I got to be as best as I can be, act stupid even if I know something, and go from there. It's very easy. It's not hard. Physically, it's, you do PT in the morning. Big deal. An hour PT. Running and calisthenics, switching days. Every other day you're doing one of those. So, 6 days a week, not a big deal. The only other PT you're going to get is when you're going to get smoked, which, according to their military, is that the instructor can only make you do 5 workouts a day, which is push-ups, squat thrusts, and flutter kicks. So, and that can only last for 20 seconds apiece, and you can only do those 5 days, five times a day. Sorry. So that's for your PT. That's where it is. The rest is mental. The rest is being away from home, being away from your family, dealing with the heat of Texas, dealing with getting around base, getting yelled at, trying to keep things perfect at all times. You just want to prepare yourself as best as you can. Preparation is probably the best thing you do for basic, besides not being one of the people that's on one of the instructor's radar. And by preparing yourself, I mean physically, go out, run. Try and make sure you're passing the time before you go to basic. The time, which you can find online under the requirements. I think it's like males is 13 minutes and 30 seconds. You have to be for 1.5 miles, and females is like 15 or something. I'm not positive. Those exact numbers, don't quote me on them, or else you might screw yourself over. Do push-ups, do crunches, do all that stuff. You're going to get in shape while you're down there. As long as you push yourself in the morning, you're going to get stronger, you're going to get faster, you're going to lose weight, you're going to maybe gain weight if you're skinnier, you're going to look a lot better when you get done. So again, basic is 8.5 weeks, which most of you know. It's actually a full 9 weeks, because you come in on a Tuesday and you leave on a Monday. You're there for almost 9 weeks. 0 week is a lot of in-processing stuff. The first 2 weeks really do suck. Those are going to be your shitty 2 weeks of where you are going to be crap. You're not going to be doing a lot of fun stuff. You're going to be getting, clothing, your haircut. You're in processing of paperwork, sitting there, not being able to talk, learning what you need to learn for basic those first 2 weeks. Then after that, that's where the fun begins. That's where you get to go, 3 and 4, 5 and 6 weeks. That's where you get to go to obstacle course, sea burning, get gassed, the range, you get to go fire the M16, get to go to Beast Week. MTI start laying off of you a little bit more because they know you're not new. You get your blues, you start to prepare for the real Air Force, and then 7th and 8th week, 8th week is cake. You're not doing anything. 7th week, I thought to be the most stressful, but again, I'll get into it. At that time, one of the good things you need to look at while you're down there is, one, they're building new dormitories. When I left basic in October of 2012, they were just finishing up 3 brand new dormitories. The air conditioning is going to work, all that stuff. The Air Force is building the new ones because the old ones are however old they are and they suck. Again, I haven't been down there since. I'm supposed to be going back down there to visit them, but if you're getting a new dormitory, I heard it's pretty nice. I've seen the pictures. It's supposed to be extremely better than the old ones, but then again, the old ones have more character in them. So if you're in the old ones, you can say you were in the old dorms before they got ripped down, which is pretty cool because I liked my old dorms. They're cool. Some things that I suggest doing, don't bring a lot of crap. Get a backpack and bring what you need. They said 3 days of clothes. Bring 3 days of clothes. Bring 3 pairs of briefs, 3 pairs of socks, 3 pairs of shirts, plain shirts. Do not wear an Air Force shirt. Do not be that guy. Don't wear a whole bunch of bright colors. Just be as basic as possible. Otherwise, they're going to pick you out for those reasons. If you're that person that doesn't want to be noticed in basic training, then you need to hide yourself. So bring that. Bring your cell phone and bring your wallet. You're going to be able to use your cell phone for weekend call homes. That's like a mandatory thing. So bring your cell phone, bring your charger, bring your wallet because you're going to need to keep your money, somewhere in your identifications. Bring that stuff. Just bring the stuff that your recruiter probably told you to, but don't overpack. You don't need to bring towels because you're going to have a towel when you get there. Hopefully, if they're not out. Don't bring big amounts of liquids. Like most of you won't be able to because if you're going to fly in an airport fly in an airplane down to basic anyway, so you're only going to bring 3 ounces of whatever. So don't bring a lot of that stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Get yourself in the mindset of taking orders. That's one of the main things because a lot of people, our age, 18 through 22-ish areas, you're fresh out of high school, you've never really taken a direct order from somebody that, involves your career. You might have had a job at like a fast food place or maybe even better, but other than that, you really haven't had to follow those orders, and you can't really be punished as hard as you can in the military for not following what somebody's going to tell you. And especially at basic, they can pretty much do whatever they want to an extent. I'm sure a lot of you that are coming in have heard about, the scandal that's been going on at basic. For the most part, when I was down there, which was over a year ago, it was pretty lean. It's kind of gotten a little bit soft. Some might say. I say it probably has because they're trying to watch their backs and not trying to get in trouble and get their stripes taken away and along those things. But it's probably gotten ramped back up a little bit. Expected. It's a military. You're joining it for a reason. You're joining, to be the best of the best. The Air Force is the best of the best. We're probably one of the smartest branches. We do a lot of work, even though a lot say we don't. We do. It's just not seen. We're not infantry. We're not deployed out in the shit as much as the other guys are. But that's what they signed up for. We didn't sign up for that. We signed up to use our brains. Because we're knowledgeable. One of the big things I gotta stress is you gotta keep contact with the outside world when you have a chance. A lot of you guys are gonna get to call your family. I suggest calling people that are close to you. I called my mom when I was down there a lot because I'm closer to my mom, and I would tell her to tell people other things because you're only gonna get like 10 minutes. Maybe you get lucky, you get a longer phone call, but more than likely you're only gonna get 10 minutes, and 10 minutes isn't long for a lot. If you have a wife, call your wife. I want to suggest, calling your girlfriends or calling your best friend or whatever, but if you want to do that, go ahead. I'm not going to tell you not to, but I would suggest not to. Call your family who can get the rest out. Tell your parents there's going to be Facebook pages for your flights, and they're going to post things on there about, what's going on this week, what's going on that week, senior airman this, senior airman that, and keep them updated, which is good as well. Some people might have told you you're not going to be able to call your family for the first until Sunday. I didn't have that when I went down there. When I went down there, I got a call the first night. I was like, call them. I was okay. here's my address, I'll call you when my next phone call is. I would suggest telling one family member on Sundays. That was usually when our phone call day was, but when you find out, you can figure it out. I told my mom Sunday, if you hear the phone ring, pick it up no matter what the number is, because it's probably me. And I didn't have a problem. I got in contact with somebody every single Sunday. I got a phone call, and I didn't have a problem. Some other things that you need to know is that if you're in a guaranteed job, more than likely you're going to be staying in Texas. Kind of sucks. So prepare for that, because you're either going to go to Shepherd, Fort Sam Houston. You might stay on San Antonio. Might stay down in San Antonio. You might go to Keesler. If that's one of the other big training places, which is in Mississippi, which is kind of cool. But more than likely you're going to be in Texas, and then you'll kind of travel around depending on what your job is. Some might go to like California for some training. Some might go to like middle of God knows where, like Oklahoma for airframe training. Some go to Florida. It just depends what your job is. I would recommend trying to get a guaranteed job if you don't want to do a shitty job. If you go in open, then, especially open general, more than likely you're going to get stuck with SecFo or MedTech. As most of you know what SecFo is. It's security forces, which is the gate guards, or the police for the base, but for your first year, you're stuck at the gate. If you like that, that's cool. I don't have a problem with them. The guys are cool. But just remember, if you don't want to do that, you might want to try and get a guaranteed job. Now, if you're just trying to get out and get in the Air Force, again, the Air Force is cutting back. I think we're supposed to cut like 25,000 people or something like that. I don't remember how much it is, but it's a lot. So, get a guaranteed job. Don't get a guaranteed job. It depends if you want to wait or if you just want to get in and start, securing yourself. But remember, if you trade up one thing for another, you're gonna every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So just remember that. Again, basic is very easy. You make it difficult, always look towards the end. You are gonna have stuff to look forward to throughout basic, so plan that out. It might not be like, oh, well, I graduate in 8 weeks, and that's not really going to carry you. You got to make certain things carry you along. Like, okay, Sunday is going to be like probably the easiest day of the week. You're going to have church, so you're not going to have any training on Sunday whatsoever. You're going to have church, which I would very recommend going to, because there's other airmen there, and you can kind of talk to them because you're in a controlled environment, and like the pastors are officers, and they're not about like ripping you and like treating you like crap. They're there about God and stuff. Check out the different services or whatever. It's a pretty chill day. Just, you're going to have stuff to do, whatever. But other than that, it's going to be a lax day. Like my instructor didn't even come in on Sundays because he trusted us enough, which we didn't do anything stupid. So Sundays we would just get up. We don't have PT on Sunday either. So we would get up at like whatever the time was, which was like 6 or 7. Or whatever. We get up, you like slowly get ready, go get food, and then I would go to church early because my service was early. I'd come back, and then we just wouldn't do anything because like different services are at different times, so the flight would be broken up through the day. So we would just kind of just like chill the whole day. So yeah. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment or message me. I'll be grateful to answer them for you guys. I'm gonna try and post a couple other videos. Mainly about the individual weeks and what to expect each week, and towards the end maybe like a little like tips on like what to do when you're in San Antonio after you graduate or whatever. But for the most part, yeah, and enjoy the video. I hope you guys liked it, and I'll have some more for you soon.